We're in section 2.6, and we're going to be looking at problem number 16. Suppose you invest a certain amount of money in an account that pays 11% interest annually, and $4,000 more than that account and $4,000 more than that in an account that pays 12% annually. So that took me a little bit of time to try to read that. How much money do you have in each account if the total interest for a year is $940? And they've already started a chart for us. And in the chart we have dollars at 11%, and we're going to have dollars at 12%. And they've told us that the dollars at 11%, we're going to make that X. And then we have the number of dollars, and then the interest. Remember, your interest formula is I is equal to PRT. And we're going to need to use that formula when we set up this chart. So, just so you remember, the I stands for interest. So that's what you're going to earn. Is equal to principal. And that's the amount that we're going to be putting into our account. So amount in account at beginning. And then we're going to multiply that times the rate. So this is your percentage rate in decimal form. And then we're going to multiply it times the time. And we're always going to be talking about time of 1 year. So we're going to always be multiplying this by 1. So T stands for your time. So we're putting in 11%, we're putting X dollars in, and $4,000 more than that. $4,000 more means I'm going to be adding to what? To X. So X plus 4,000 is how much I'm going to add to my account at 12%. How much money do you have in each account if the total interest for a year is $940? So I need to figure out what the interest is for each account, and then I'm going to add the interest together to give me the total interest. So I need to use I equals PRT, so I'm going to be looking for my interest. I'm going to take my principal, which is my X, and I'm going to multiply it times my rate, which is 11%. Remember to write your 11% in decimal form, so that becomes 0.11. That's my rate, and I'm going to be multiplying it by my principal. And that's going to give me my interest. Remember, T is 1, R is your 0.11, X is your P. Over here, we have an interest rate of 12%, so I'm going to rewrite that in decimal form, times the amount that I'm going to be investing at 12%. So this is the interest I'm earning at 12%. This is the interest I'm earning at 11%. I'm going to add the two interests together, and it better equal, if we've done this right, the total amount of interest for the year, which is $940. So this is the equation we're going to be working with and trying to solve. I'm going to go ahead and move the paper up a little bit and get rid of this paper, and we don't really need that anymore, and give us some more room here. Alrighty, so we have 0.11x plus, I'm going to use my distributive property, so I'm going to be multiplying 0.12 times x and 0.12 times 4,000. So 0.12 times x is 0.12x plus, and now I need to figure out what 12% of 4,000 is. I believe it's 480. And then that is going to be equal to $940. Combine like terms. Remember, we're adding decimals, so the two decimals, when I add them together, become 0.23x plus 480. Then we're going to subtract 480 from both sides. We're trying to get the x by itself. 480 cancels out. I'm left over with 0.23x equals, I think that ends up being 460. Yep. Then we need to divide both sides by 0.23 to get the x by itself. 0.23 on the left cancels out, and we're left over with x equals, and then we have to figure out what 460 is divided by 0.23. And I come up with $2,000. So then we go back up to the top here, and what is x representing? It's representing the amount of money that we're investing at 11%. So $2,000 invested at 11%. And then to find out how much I'm going to invest at 12%, I need to add $4,000 to this answer. So x plus 4,000 equals 2,000 plus 4,000, which gives me $6,000 invested at 12%. So this is the answers to the question. It was asking how much was invested at each. There's the answer. To do a quick check, take 11% of 2,000, add it to 12% of 6,000. And if we take 11% of 2,000, we come up with 220. If we take 12% of 6,000, we come up with 720. And does that equal our original amount that we wanted to earn, 940? Well, if you add these two together, I think it does. 940, yep, equals 940. So it checks.